Hello there, please like and subscribe to our channel. Imagine you are commending your birthday with your two best friends when a person comes over and purchases your two companions drinks while totally disregarding you. Well, greeting to my life. However, it wasn't generally similar to that. For the greater part of my life I was the prettiest of my companions, so at whatever point an attractive person approached us, I naturally expected he was just keen on me, not my two revolting companions. Hello, are you young ladies heading out to see the Batman film too? My companion Alma answered, yes we do. What's your name? That is the point at which I hung over to her and murmured, sorry Alma, yet I don't think he needs to converse with you, let me handle this. Hello, my name Jessica Column. Are you sitting? And I wound up exchanging seats so I could sit close to the fellow, and we wound up kissing a piece. I surmise at times I'm simply a short while after the film was over I returned to my companions and they were so desirous. I can't completely accept that he picked you over us. Didn't he see my butt? Alma was right, the two of them would do well to Benz than me. However, it didn't make any difference on the grounds that their countenances were far less than ideal. They were monstrous. I said, young ladies, I caution you, if both of you at any point gets hitched to an attractive person, be cautious. He won't experience passionate feelings for me, and separate with you, I'm simply too overpowering. You presumably think I was a jerk for prodding my companions so a lot, yet it was all in great soul, since we were best friends, and as a young lady it means a lot to rehearse how to play with folks, particularly on the off chance that you're still in school, in light of the fact that regardless of the subject, as long as my educator was male, I could approach him after class and request that he further develop my last grade. I would concoct a few reasons and say I didn't get a decent rest the night prior to the test in light of the fact that my folks shouted at one another all night, might you at any point kindly redesign my grade? Then I would begin crying. I didn't simply cause my educator to have sympathy for me, yet I additionally caused them to feel strong and significant in light of the fact that he was the one in particular who could protect this young lady. Alright, okay, I realize that you can improve, so I will knock up your grade and let you spend a year. Wow, thank you, are the best. Yes, I was bold. It's presumably not typical to embrace your 50-year-old physical science educator. However, what was the disadvantage? I generally ensured no different understudies were in the room. That is the reason my instructors felt open to playing with me a piece, and my cohorts couldn't really mess around that I was taking part in an extramarital entanglements with our educators, or something to that effect. Yet here comes the unexpected development. My two closest companions at 17 years old got their folks' consent to get plastic medical procedure. Amazingly, there is no base age expected for it here in the US. All you want is your folks' endorsement, and we are talking bosom upgrades, Brazilian butt lifts, counterfeit jaws, and all the other in the middle between. I could scarcely remember them when they returned to school. Out of nowhere I was the most ungorgeous of my companions, and I totally loathed it. One time a colleague asked us how we were, and I answered, I'm great. Gracious, I wasn't asking you, I was conversing with your companions. Ha! For what reason was this person so discourteous to me? Well, Alma thought it was entertaining, and no big surprise. I had prodded her for quite a long time about being less beautiful than me. Now the tables had turned, and she partook in her triumph. Alma turned into the most famous young lady in our school, not on the grounds that she had extraordinary person, but since her folks had paid specialists to stuff a lot of plastic into her body. I was nauseated, or perhaps I was simply desirous. Yet isn't it unjustifiable the number of benefits rich individuals that have? When Alma and I went to the film again, I let the clerk know that I would take the little pungent popcorn. He didn't recognize my solicitation by any means, rather he grinned at Alma. He was behind me in line and asked her what she needed. Gracious, thank you for letting me go, preferred choice, I feel so unique now. Then she played with the person for 2 long minutes. At last I had enough and shouted at her, screw you and your phony plastic body. I stomped out of the film, and just a single time my displeasure had blurred. I woke up. I had harassed Alma about her revolting face for such a long time, and presently I was unable to deal with her being prettier than me. For half a month I was a finished poser, and thought of her a statement of regret. Message to my help. She said she wasn't frantic at me, however it deteriorated while my sweetheart Seth, Alma and I had lunch in the schoolyard. Alma made a truly unfunny joke. She expressed out loud whatever's brown and put together with wood. She stopped briefly and said wood. It was such a terrible joke. However, my beau Seth couldn't quit chuckling, and that was no occurrence before Alma had gotten all her plastic medical procedure. My sweetheart had consistently despised her. One time he even called her an irritating pig, yet now that she was hot and beautiful he adored conversing with her to such an extent that I generally turned into the unnecessary extra person when we were together, and it hurt being overlooked. At long last Alma disappeared, and I told Seth on the off chance that you love her such a lot, of why not simply attempt to kiss her later opportunity. Goodness God, are you desirous again in light of the fact that I conversed with your dearest companion? Seth never confessed to doing anything off base, and more terrible, he passed judgment on me for being envious. Obviously I get envious in the event that my own sweetheart likes one more young lady more than me. Well, it just required one more week before he said a final farewell to me. He said I was too tenacious and he lacked the capacity to deal with a sweetheart because of the forthcoming last tests. The separation truly hurt, and to compound the situation, only 1 month after the fact Alma came dependent upon me and inquired as to whether it was fine in the event that she began dating my ex. Said, out of the many folks in our school you picked my ex. He hit me up on Instagram and afterward we watched a film together at his home. You did what? I blew up. I was going to tear out her moronic jaw inserts from under her skin. Assuming you begin dating Seth, I will kill both of you, I guarantee you that. Definitely I was losing my however, it's no big surprise in no less than 2 months I'd lost my entire personality in the event that I wasn't one of the lovely young ladies any longer. Then who truly was I? And in any case, wasn't it sort of miserable that folks simply needed to date me in light of my looks? Didn't I have whatever other saving graces that might have made Seth need to remain in a relationship with me? I thought briefly, yet proved unable to consider any sure person qualities I had. Perhaps it was valid, perhaps I was only a mean. Well, the following day in class I attempted to be kinder and requested one from my schoolmates. How her day was? She promptly began discussing her alcoholic father and how he was really harmful. She continued to chat on and on. That is the point at which I understood that I wasn't one of the decent young ladies. I wasn't keen on her or her alcoholic father or truly anybody other than myself. I told her, shut up, you talked enough, on the grounds that if not she would have discussed her crappy family until dusk. I currently knew who I was, a childish and egotistical little whelp. I won't become Mother Teresa or Gandhi. No, I needed to accomplish something different and think about what I researched next. Cost: bosom expansion, Los Angeles. Really, the costs were lower than I had anticipated, just $5,000. However, my folks were as well sadly poor to manage the cost of that. However, at that point I had an acknowledgement redesigning my body wasn't exactly a cost, yet rather a venture in the event that my hot body could get me a spouse with a significant compensation one day. Then it would effectively pay for the plastic medical procedure charges. That is the reason I strolled into a bank and requested a 25,000 credit. What's your age? And what will you spend the cash on? School. I'm 16 years of age and I need to get plastic medical procedure. That day I discovered that banks don't give out credits to frantic teen young ladies needing a bosom expansion. Yet I'm shrewd. I just faked a few reports to make it look that I had previously graduated secondary school. I claimed to be a wonder who had bounced 2 classes and presently needed to go to Harvard. I get it. Stunning how rapidly they gave me credit, and in light of the fact that Harvard is costly, I got $60,000, which took care of the expense of a medical procedure for my entire body anyway, on the grounds that it required a little while for my body to recuperate. I missed my last tests of the year in secondary school. That is the reason my chief believed me should rehash the entire year. Who did he assume he was? I'm a straight 10 now. I can get anything that person I need, which implies I don't have to earn a college education or get a decent line of work. So I just exited secondary school. A great many people watching this video likely disdain me since I'm telling things as they are, yet when you're pretty much as hot as me, you couldn't care less about the assessments of a few skeptics on the web. What makes a difference is that folks love me, and, surprisingly, my ex Seth hit me up again on Instagram. He said he committed a tremendous error with saying a final farewell to me. Really awful. I'm so over his head currently. Thank you for watching. Share my story, and assuming that you like our energized stories, if it's not too much trouble, hit the like button and buy into our feed. Thank you for watching Reginald English. Please like and subscribe to our channel.